blue haze in a waking sky. Dogwood blooms in the redbud's flame, calling everything back by name. River runs like it always knew how to carry the night on through. Cool, damp air and the smell of pine. Lord, it feels like the world's just fine. It's an Appalachian spring again. Life comes rolling back in the wind. From the holler to the mountain top, you can feel that the cold has stopped. Hear the birds and the whippoorwills sing. Every heart gets a second wind. In the light of a brand new day, Appalachian spring finds a way. Boots on dirt down an old trail bend, where the creek and the wildflowers blend. Trillium white in the morning shade, quiet beauty the good Lord made. The sun comes slow through the tulip trees, dancing gold in the mountain breeze. Every step feels like home to me in these hills where my soul runs free. It's an Appalachian spring again. Life comes rolling back in the wind. From the holler to the mountain top, you can feel that the cold has stopped. Oh, hear the birds and the whippoorwills sing. Every heart gets a second wind. In the light of a brand new day, Appalachian spring finds a way. Fiddle cry and the banjo roll, that mountain sound down in your soul. Old front porch and a coffee cup, watching all of the world wake up. Simple things that we understand. Ain't no riches like this land. Time moves slow, but it don't stand still, like the fog on a distant hill. Every season's a gift we bring, but there's nothing like Appalachian spring. It's an Appalachian spring again. Life comes rolling back in the wind. From the holler to the mountain top, you can feel that the cold has stopped.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Friends and neighbors. Well, I got a story this week. It honestly made me smile. Many months ago, we talked about the Darnell shooting range. At that time, the Forest Service Road leading up to it had deteriorated to the point that it was impossible to me in my pickup truck. And I mentioned it on the show that I'd contacted the U.S. Forest Service. I think I had a conversation with Rose there at the headquarters of the Ranger District in Lakemont. And, I guess week before last, I was headed somewhere or going somewhere, and I drove past that entrance, and it's about 3 miles off of the main road there to the shooting range. And so I took off. I said, well, I'll go see. And it was open. They had put new signage up. They had cleared the road, There was some windfall over it, nothing the truck couldn't get by. But they had repaired the road, and I got up there. And I talked about it. I think I even posted showed a video on the live stream. And, well, sure enough, they had repaired it. And thought that was kind of the end of the story. I started squawking about, maybe we need to get up there as citizens of the county and do some work and make repairs and clean it up so that we could show some pride in our community. And then on that following Tuesday, I saw something on the Facebook. Somebody was asking, well, why did they close Darnell shooting range? And I posted back. I said, that's weird. I was just up there on Tuesday. And turned out there was a group of volunteers. I don't remember if it was a Jeep related or just a community group, but they got together and organized an additional cleanup and improvement work day around the shooting range itself. Cleaning, repairing, improving, simply because they cared. And man, that made me proud as I could be. Not because somebody told them to. Not because there was a paycheck waiting. Because they understood something we've almost forgotten in modern society. These public places belong to all of us. And when we treat them like they're ours, they become better for everyone. I've suggested, and I still do, that we ought to adopt the facility in spirit as the county. We could join together under the Rabun County RAG banner and go up there. I intend to go up there on a regular basis and make sure I take a rake and shovel and broom and some trash bags and try and gather up and clean it up. Even if I just go up there and fire off 10 rounds, being the sharpshooter I am, it normally doesn't take me but about 3 rounds to make sure it's zeroed. But anyway, and I want to encourage others to respect it. And every time we visit it, I encourage people to go up and visit that rifle range, that shooting range. Go up there and visit it. And leave it better than when we found it. Now, to me, that's mountain living. That's being a community. That's a perfectly good place to go to zero our rifles in right here in the county. We don't got to drive up to what's Franklin. We ain't got to drive down to Cornelia or Clarksville. We got a place right here that we can take full advantage of. And of course, I think we should take care of it as well. Anyway, thanks to the group. I thought it was some kind of Black Bear Jeep group, but I read on the Facebook that it was some other group too, and I don't care. I don't want to even attach my name to it. I'm just so happy that somebody in the community, and I posted, if I would have known about it, I sure would have made arrangements to be up there and help them out. But thank you, whoever you are. If y'all catch this live stream tonight or down the road ways, thank you. Thank you. And I intend to be up there at least once a month. I'm going to make it a calendar event to go up there. If I just take a handgun and fire off a few rounds, or a rifle and fire off a few rounds, just to drive up there. It's a beautiful drive. It's a narrow road, but it's a beautiful drive. Follows Darnell Creek all the way up through there. It's a wonderful place. And with continued effort, and we go up there and respect it, it'll be a real asset to the community. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The garden. Whew. Man, me and the grandson were out here yesterday. And I think we put out and potted, broke apart. We had a bunch of seedlings started. And I think there's another 40 plants at least, tomatoes and peppers and some cilantro. And I guess that's mostly what it is. But they've been beat by the sun pretty hard today. They looking kind of wilty. I made sure they were drenched real good with water, and we had fun making some potting soil up. Took a bag of topsoil and put in some peat and put in some vermiculite and perlite and mixed it up real good. And he and I did that together and mixed in a little fertilizer and stirred it in real good, made a whole wheelbarrow full. And then I had a bunch of potting cups, and he filled them up for me. And then after he filled them up, I put the plants in them, and then he took them down there with a little water jug and watered them. I don't think he watered them enough, but he was working at it. And then after he left later on, I took them and dunked them in a 5-gallon bucket of water and flooded them real good. And they're out there now. We'll see how they pull through. And then he and I went out in the garden, found another zucchini, he brought it into the house for his Nana. We ain't got no tomatoes yet, but some of them are getting close. I got some more vines that are growing. Looks like something's nibbling on, probably that old bunny rabbit or something. But they are getting mighty close. But the zucchini and squash are doing their thing. And Lord have mercy, July has arrived with a vengeance. Hot and humid. Walk outside for 10 minutes and you've already sweated through tomorrow's shirt. I've been out a time or two today, just to go out. But even with the heat, you know what? I'd rather be right here than anywhere else. Hey, before we go any further, let's remember why we gather. We're a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, our culture, families, and environment. And we come here to exchange ideas, resources, and information. And tonight, as you can see, we're talking about stewardship. Anyway, it is 10 minutes after 6. There goes 10 minutes of introduction. I guess we could talk about hunting, fishing, and the outdoor report. Summer has settled into its familiar rhythm across Rabun County. As far as deer is concerned, this is one of the best months for trail camera surveys, mineral site observations, improving access trails, doing stand maintenance, identifying browse areas. I had some windfalls out here in the back and took down a old dying oak tree and a couple of larger pines. Excuse me. If I buffer, I'm sorry. It looks like Starlink is giving me fits in this summertime weather over storm business. But anyway, those trees, those windfalls down there in the back, they have created a lot more sunlight in certain areas. So I would imagine there's some lovely browsing areas coming up. Son-in-law went down there the other day and said he couldn't believe how much it had changed just from them trees falling. Anyway, get out and evaluate food plot locations for your fall planning. Keep eye on bachelor groups. They're telling you where they'll likely be in September. When September rolls around, you just got to be paying attention. The little turkey poults, they're out there becoming increasingly visible. A good hatch generally means a healthy population moving toward next spring. Where was I the other day? I saw a bunch of them. Charlie Mountain, maybe? I don't remember. But there was a whole bunch of them out there. Keep disturbance low around brood habitat. Them turkeys, they're just like chickens, so if they're comfortable where they're at. Yeah, there goes a notification of lightning. But anyway, it's darned old. I got to turn these notifications off. Anyway, turkeys is turkeys is turkeys. Let's hope for a healthy population and keep that resource in good order. Summer fishing. It can be rewarding for those willing to adjust. I still need to get out and do some fishing. But anyway, fish early. Fish the higher elevations. And this is for the trout where it's cooler. Concentrate on oxygen-rich water. Look for rapids, look for falls, that kind of thing. And I suggest using it a dry with a nymph dropper. It's a good combination and it'll produce one way or the other. Make sure you match your hatch. I got my little Orvis book around here. I hadn't even looked at it. I have watched these birds out here. There's a couple of little old birds out here that's attacking flying insects as big as they are. I got a little concrete poured wall out there, and there must be one of them nearby with a nest, but that little old bird will catch a big old moth or something and land on that concrete wall there on the top of it and beat that darn bug into submission against that concrete wall, and then it'll fly off to its nest and feed its young. It kind of tickled me to watch it darn thing work hard at that. And it fit that bird that size. It could feed 5 or 6 youngins on that bug he had. But the bass, the bass, Lake Burton, Lake Rabun, Lake Seed, Dawn, hit the top water, work around the docks, look for shaded banks, go for the deeper brush and cover after mid-morning. The fish ain't quit biting. They're simply smarter than the heat. I don't know if I told y'all, but I been trying to feed some old sunfish brim. That old Nine Lives cat food, they don't want no part of that. I don't know whether it's too hard, it don't taste right, or them old turtles would come up and gobble that stuff real good. There goes the stream, getting a poor signal again. I apologize if it's buffering. I'm up here in the hills and I'm way off the beaten path, and my only viable option, and thank you, Starlink. Thank you, Starlink, for giving me this opportunity, even though from time to time it slows down and I'm on the biggest plan. So I don't know whether it's reception or whether they're putting me in the queue. They are not putting me in the queue because I've got I should be at the front of the line as far as data movement. So I'm going to bet that it is the weather, even though I see this quite a bit. And let me see if I can do a speed test. Oh, Starlink, I don't know what's going on, man, but hey, Elon, I appreciate you, man, but I need some speed. I'm doing these live streams now. I need you, man. I need you to come through for me. Come on, Elon. I'm at 100 megabits per second on the download. Hell, it's fluctuating from 60 to 100, and the upload is running 12 or 13, 14, 17. And these numbers should be well over 100, but millisecond delay looks good. Thank you, Elon. Let's see if you can get them next generations up there. I'll run it right now because now it's telling me I'm slow. And now I'm pumping up 138 down. It's dropping pretty quick. Come on. Anyway, Elon, thank you. Let's get them next generation satellites up there, and so I can get out and entertain folks. I'm still grateful for it, even though it flubba-dubs and causes buffering every now and then. Anyway, it's been boy, yeah, them old turtles eat that cat food. Them fish are like, they turn their nose up at it. I think that little old lake that I walk around is probably real rich in natural food that they would turn their nose up. But you know, old snapping turtle, they're scavengers basically anyway. They'll just eat anything they can get their mouth on. Anyway, that little lake up there at Black Rock, it looks like it's silting in pretty good. It looks like it could use a dredging operation of some sort. I don't know if it's ever been dredged. I think it's been in operation for 50 years. And it's got mountain streams feeding it. Of course, with the runoff from the mountains, I'm sure it carries some silt with it. But anyway, that's where we stand on that. Y'all send me a chat. Let me know you're out there. Say hello. Hey, let me know what's going on. I'm going to keep doing this thing till we develop a following, and then I'll have 2 or 3 people who can jump on here. If I decide to go on vacation or go fishing, they can take over and help entertain folks and get the word out about what we're doing and bring community concerns. You know, that's this is what I envision this being, to replace the old community radio station, and be a place where we can get together and talk about and support and be a part of a community instead. It's kind of like sitting around a campfire on Thursday evenings. We can't always get out, but we can gather around the radio. Gather around and listen to it and send messages back and forth and have good conversations and share things with one another. Share pictures of your garden. I'd love, if you sent me a picture of your garden right now, I'd figure out how to post it just so everybody could look at it. Let's take a little pride in the things we do. If you got an old tractor you've been redoing, you could post that. If you got a special project you got going, you want to show it off, we'd love to see it and talk about it in a live forum. So let's build this thing up. There goes that darn old phone calls, man. They calling me all the time. It ain't nothing but somebody trying to sell me something. But anyway, waiting. Boy, them old tomatoes have taught me patience. I tell you what, I've got it in the calendar. I started them things, I think it was the 15th of March, and put them in the ground around 15th of April. And they've been out there 6 weeks, and they're healthy. They're hefty. I got a lot of little green tomatoes out there. I was hoping I'd have one before the 4th of July. It'd been nice if we had some before my wife went to the grocery store this week. That'd be nice too. But patience. They're loaded and they're healthy and they're growing, but they're not quite ready. I guess sometimes life reminds us. It shows that I am disconnected. There, I'm back. Sometimes life reminds us. Almost. Isn't yet. Gardens teach patience better than any preacher I've ever heard. And, with my grandson, he's a wild child. He's a 5-year-old boy, and that's what he's supposed to be. And it was nice to get him focused on doing some gardening, making up the potting soil, filling the pots, watering the plants. I let him put a couple plants in the cups, but he had to move on and keep moving. So I'd put 6 or 8 in cups and stack them. And I say, "You going to water these things, boy?" And then he could stay busy if I stayed ahead of him. And I think that's the main thing with him. He needs to be in constant motion. And then we walked the garden, and then we played. He played. That's what he wants to do, play. He play with me, Papa. He wants to go on an adventure. He says, "Papa," this is when he's with his Nana now. He says, "Can we go downstairs and explore?" And I go, "Yeah, in a minute. Let me finish what I'm doing. I gotta go." I was eating lunch. I said, "Let me finish eating some lunch, because I gotta go work on you can help me in the garden." "Okay, can we go? And I said, "As soon as I finish my lunch, boy." And so he had to learn a little patience there. And then we came down the stairs, and he beelined it to the door. His only exploring was wanting to be outside. And we went for a walk in the weeds a little bit. I don't like to go out there too much this time of year because it's kind of snaky. I mean, I don't mind if he's playing in the yard, but getting out there in those woods and weeds, that's kind of, especially when we got blueberries and blackberries and the birds are in there and the snakes are after the birds and all that stuff. And I don't mind. I just want him I want him to learn to pay attention. I had to get on to him not get on to him, remind him that, how can you be watching where you're going when you're running? And he'd slow down and he'd start looking again to make sure he wasn't going to step on a snake. But pick the zucchini. I got on to him too, boy. I had a green tomato. It was just starting to get some yellow on it, I think, and he picked it. And I said, boy, that tomato ain't ever going to ripen. I said, I want to make you eat that thing. I said, don't let me catch you picking another tomato unless it is red, not yellow, not orange, not green, red. And then you can pick it. Don't pick another one unless it's, yes, sir, Papa. And so anyway, harvested another zucchini, planted did some seedling transfers, and water gun. He couldn't believe how good a shot Papa was with that water gun. I got two of them. And he'd put one up and he'd actually aim it, and I'd have mine in the lap. And every time he'd pull trigger, try and shoot me, I'd pull the trigger and smack him right in the head. He was getting mad. His grandmama, his Nana, soaked him down with a hose, and then he had to go in and change clothes. And so hopefully he slept good that night. But anyway, gardens, they teach patience better than almost any preacher I've ever heard. Still got some road maintenance I got to do. I got all the rough spots out of it, but I need to crown it. Right now it's just kind of flat, and I've got the ditches worked up on the side, but I ain't got quite enough material to get a good crown on it. So the water is going to want to run down the middle of the road. So I got to get out there and do that. And, cut the grass last Friday, and it looks like it needs it again, but guess what? It's going to wait till next Friday. I need to get down and visit with my dad. I'm a fortunate man. I'm 64 and I still got my dad. I cherish as much time with him as I can. But anyway, keep an eye on the squash. I'd like to see some of that yellow squash. Enjoying the cooler mornings. They're humid though. I went to Tallulah and walked that old Tallulah Railroad trail down there, and I've really picked up the pace. I was kind of happy with myself on that deal. So anyway, tomorrow I'll go and do the old Black Rock up the hill both ways kind of thing. But anyway, I'm glad to be able to do it. Heat and humidity. Whew. Humidity deserves some respect, buddy. Heat index matters more than the thermometer temperature. Me and you should too, is keep up good habits. Drink before you're thirsty. Tomorrow I bet I'll drink one of these bottles worth of water tomorrow before I even get on the trail. And then when I come off the trail, I'm liable to drink a half of one before I get back to the house. Try and wear light colored clothing. I'll probably wear this tomorrow and come back and get in the shower and change clothes. And because being semi-retired, I really try to, I've never had weekends off all my working life. It was like work all week, come home, take things, and you know what I'm talking about, all of you. come home on Friday night. You might go to dinner, but then on Saturday, you got ball, you got soccer, you got something, something, something. Work around the house, something, something, something. Run your errands, something, something, something. And then maybe you'll get to relax and have some dinner. Maybe go out again to eat. I don't know, but get some rest. And then Sunday morning, it's off to church and come home and maybe get a nap. Boy, there ain't nothing better in this world than a nap after church. After going to church, coming home and getting you something to eat and sit down and maybe going to watch a movie, and it's get comfortable on that couch, and all of a sudden you wake up and the shadows have changed where the sun has moved a couple hours and you've been out. But pace the outdoor work. Like when I'm cutting the grass, I try to get on Friday. I'm not going to tomorrow, but on Fridays I go for my walk and get back to the house by 9 o'clock or 9:30 and start cutting the grass. And I'm normally wrapping that up around noontime. And man, I couldn't imagine being out there at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the day trying to get that work done. But and then having a shower, and by 1 o'clock I'm in the office uploading videos or whatever, and then probably watching a little TV and chilling out. And if the grandson comes over to spend the night, I have a pretty leisurely weekend. Now I get up at 4:30 on Sunday and come downstairs and script out the next week's work so I can get ready on it. I'll Monday mornings I've got another live stream I do for my construction buddies, get them motivated and get them ready to go and have conversations with them, and then go for a walk. And then Monday I'll sometimes I'll record videos, but normally I'll just come in from the walk and take a shower and fool around in the office. And then on Tuesday I normally get downstairs and at 5, I get up at 4:30, downstairs by 5, and start recording videos. And maybe if now I try to do the days that I have to go for a walk, if I've got garden work or road work or cutting the grass, I try to do that on the same day that I go for a walk. That way I can get in a full day and take a shower. But anyway, that's typically a work week. On Wednesdays, I normally spend editing. I didn't do it yesterday because I had the grand boy with me and we were entertaining each other. And so this morning, I got downstairs about 5 and started editing and finished that up around lunchtime. And then sat down here and scripted for tonight's live stream with you folks. And at 5 o'clock, fired it, got the software going and cameras on and lighting and all that. And here we are, start at 6 o'clock, and we've been at it for 34 minutes. Anyway, that's just it. But in this summer weather, pace your outdoor work. Also know the symptoms of heat exhaustion. You ain't got to get it all done right now, man. I don't want nobody to get hurt out there. You're too valuable to us. We want you to have a long and prosperous life. You ain't got to hurry up. Just work at a good pace. Stay hydrated and know the symptoms of heat exhaustion or heat stress and all that stuff. And drink plenty of fluid. Take plenty of breaks. Anyway, I'd like to remind us that once again, talk about that Darnell shooting range. I am so glad that's back open. Let's get out there and take advantage of it, okay? Along the safety lines now, make sure you have some hearing protection. And take you some hearing protection and some eye protection. Practice muzzle awareness. Always keep that muzzle downstream. Keep downrange. Keep it downrange. Open those muzzles. I mean, those breeches. If you've got to walk down there and change and you call a halt on the fire line, everybody, open those chambers. Open those bolts. And put your guns down while you swap out your targets. Go ahead and do that. That's the best thing. And then when you're done, the most important thing is clean up after yourself. Don't leave no water bottles and candy wrappers or sandwich wrappers or sandwich baggies or paper cups. Don't leave that, man. The Forest Service could take that away just as easily as they put in the effort to clean it up. They could deem it a hazard. And if we don't take care, it's called good stewardship. Good stewardship includes safe stewardship. But anyway, weather and seasonal outlook. It's high near 90s. My behindy, it's been 90 with climbing humidity. I'm down here in the man cave, and the humidity's at 47% throughout the day. And that's with the AC running. Throughout the day, it'll get up to 53%, and the temperature right now in this room is 75 degrees, and it stays 75, 76. But anyway, those afternoon thunder showers, I think that's what's going on right now, affecting my Starlink. Gummit. I tell you what, my sister's getting it big too. Yeah, look at that. I'm at 17 megabyte, 20. You know what? I'm fixing to send them. I don't want to complain too much because I remember with Windstream or whatever it's called now, it was 3 megabits per second download and 0.5 upload. Right now I'm at 57 down and 31 up with an 18 millisecond delay. I am not going to complain. Thank you, Elon. Thank you, Starlink. But yeah, afternoon thunderstorms. I've had a couple notifications sitting here with you right now that we've got lightning and thunder out there. It could be pretty heavy rain locally. You know, I'm at 2,200 feet. I barely get out of the darn clouds this time of year. Boy, but the lush vegetation. I noticed that the other day, yesterday, how lush everything was, and the gardens are loving it. I tell you what, some of that stuff is really going. But the grass is growing so fast, it's become self-aware. Thank you, Pluriforia. That's a funny one. It is growing so fast, it is becoming self-aware. Anyway, that's where we are. Like I said, no tomatoes yet, but they're coming. I haven't, people got all kinds of ideas about pruning tomatoes, and I really haven't pruned them. I haven't seen any idea or any indication of hookworms, but like I said, we've harvested a little zucchini, and I've harvested a little bit of cilantro, and I do need to start thinking about succession planting for beans, and I need to get some darn turnip greens. I need some seeds. I need some turnip seeds. I need to write that down. Turnip seeds. turnip seeds. I do a pretty good job of growing turnips. Ain't nothing but look like plantain to me. It grows in the yard naturally. But and staying ahead of the darn weeds, man. I got one fine looking poke bush out there. That son of a gun. It's right in the corner of the garden. There's several little sprouts out there. I keep them cut back, but I got one. I guarantee you the stem is that big at the base, and I just let it grow. I just like looking at it. But anyway, and I think I've got some sunflower. One of these days I'm going to really figure out them sunflowers. But anyway, every gardener knows that one morning you'll walk out there and everything will be ready at once. I have big old baskets of tomatoes. I can see that day coming. My okra looking kind of weak, but I got some planted just for shoots and giggles. Let's see. Hey, you know what? It is the 4th of July this weekend. I was looking on the Facebook, on the local community Facebook, and our little old town up there in Dillard, they had one of them drone shows, and I'm like, wow. There's a lot of people getting into that now. It's probably cheaper than fireworks. You can probably buy 100 of them little old drones that don't cost that much, and you just program them in, man, and give them their flight pass. And it's amazing to me that we're doing things like that now. But anyway, that was kind of cool. I didn't go, but I watched it on the Facebook. And I'd like to thank the person that posted that on the Facebook. And I'm sure we'll have fireworks this weekend locally, probably several different places, and from Dillard, Mountain City on down to Clayton, Wiley, Lakemont, all them. I'm sure somebody's going to be putting on fireworks, and I could probably sit here on the porch and maybe catch a glimpse of them in the skyline from where I'm at. I have them at the lake. They got is it a 4K or a 10K? They got a Rabun down there at the lake. They got a marathon or a 10K race or whatever it is. Fun run. It's sponsored by many of the community businesses. They'll get out there and have water and all that for the people who participate. So that's something. And then you've got the state park events. I saw something. Black Rock is going to have some type of event. I'm sure the farmers markets are going to be open, and don't forget the flea markets, the local produce. I went up to Osage there between Mountain City and Dillard the other day. I bought some, what did I buy? Sourdough bread with cheese in it and some fresh veggies. And it was delicious. It was a little, it's more expensive than you would buy in the Ingles or Kroger or whatever, but it was from, I guess, local farmers. Bought my wife a couple of, Better Boy tomatoes, and I guess I bought a handful of banana peppers and bought some pickled okra. Now it was delicious with that bread, and I bought some cheese. So I probably spent $25 just to support local business, and that was my lunch for the day. That's been 2 weeks ago, actually. That's the day I went up there to up off of Darnell shooting range. But anyway, the local produce stands out there, the community music, all kinds of outdoor festivals. The United States Forest Service is having all kinds of recreational things going on. I encourage us to get out there and support local business during the holiday weekend. Community marketplace, we're starting to wind this thing down. Listen, if you've got anything around your place that you would like to declutter, or you need to trade for something else, you need something, but you got no money or little money and you'd rather trade, bring it forward here. Send me a message. And, eventually we'll have a message board. It's just you still can post it on the Facebook. I get it. I'm not trying to replace any of that. I'm just trying to build a little community where we get to, you can see me and maybe I can see you, and we'll recognize each other out there in the community. Make it just a little more personal. That's the objective here. But anyway, if you've got mulch hay, I'm looking for mulch hay. If you got mulch hay, let me know. I also need a broad fork, and I might post it on the Facebook too. I'm looking for some manure for compost, prefer cattle manure and a little bit of chicken manure, and I'll put it on the compost pile and stir in some of the wood chips I got around here, and build up my compost so that I can I don't like buying fertilizer. I don't like I don't mind the way it's made. It just seems like a crazy waste when there's so much natural resource around us that can be converted into additional resources. If we take care of our ecosystem, it'll take care of us. You don't need all people want to get production. These farmers, they want that fertilizer so they can get production. For a family farm with, 6 or 7 people, they got a quarter acre, they could grow enough food to feed their family, and maybe a hog and a cow, and keep the chickens plump. And you could do that on a relatively small piece of land, and you take that waste material from that livestock and mix it in with the carbon from your grass clippings and some leaves and wood chips and branches and waste from your garden, and throw it in a pile and stir it up every now and then. It converts into very nutrient rich compost that returns it back to your vegetables. This huge agricultural industrial complex has they've ruined the nutritional value of food by making it grow fast. Yeah, strawberries don't taste the same. Tomatoes don't taste the same. They don't let them ripen fully on the vine because they can't ship them from Texas and California and Florida and get them to the markets and Georgia and North Carolina and these big cities, and they can't do that. They won't make it to the market in time, so they pack them green and gas them, and put them in a big envelope and gas them and put them in a refrigerated truck and take them to a grocery warehouse where they could sit for a week, and then they get to the grocery store and sit for a few days, and finally they get They get red in the back room of a grocery store. Then they put them out and we buy them and all. It just ain't the same. So think about that. That's all I'm asking is we think about it. We don't, the little farmer, he don't need to feed the whole world. He just needs to feed his friends and neighbors and exchange goods and services for what he needs. If he needs the cash money, then he can sell it for cash money. If he needs chickens, he can sell it for chickens. If he needs somebody to cut his hay, he could trade it that way. There's all kinds of things. And it develops good relationships and good food and community instead of us beating our brains out, working all these god awful hours and spending our money on these electronic subscriptions and no time to look at each other in the face or have dinner with one another. You, we don't even sit at the table anymore. We sit there and make a dinner and sit in front of the darn TV or look at some screen while we're eating food that the same people is putting those things in our face on the little screens is pumping out through industrialized agriculture with very little or bad nutritional value. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I guess I overthink it. But anyway, let's change it up. Let's just change it up. Let's, how about some humor? Granddaddy said July is Mother Nature's way of proving soup can be served as air. Ain't that the darn truth? You know it's humid when your glasses fog up before you put them on. And now this one, I've reached the age where I don't chase deer anymore. I negotiate with gravity. And every Appalachian gardener eventually learns tomatoes ripen exactly one day after you finally give up checking. That's what happened with that darn zucchini. I said, well, that'd be all right for a day or two. My wife went out there the next day, and that thing was big as a baby's. It was big as a teenager's leg. That thing had grown out and gotten so big. Did we finish with the community marketplace? I need some concrete wire too. If you got an old roll of concrete wire around your place, half used, I don't care. Let me know. I need to build some tomato cages out of that. I've been using that old cheap wire. Ain't worth nothing. I want some of that concrete wire. If you got some of that laying around your place, let me know. I'll come get it from you. All right. Let's do some shout outs. First of all, thank you, U.S. Forest Service crews and everyone who delivered at Darnell shooting range. Thank you. Again, I can't say it enough. Appreciate the neighbors and all the little neighborhoods on private roads who put together and find somebody to do the maintaining the road. I've been maintaining our little road for the past, 5 or 6 years now. And I don't mind it. It gets me out there and the deer will watch me work and bunny rabbit, everything else. Crows are out there making noise and talking to me, and gardeners. Let's get ready to share some of that produce. Hey, first responders, it's going to be a miserable hot weekend with the road work going on this 441 running north and south. People are in a hurry. I know there's going to be accidents, but I want to thank you ahead of time for being there and being ready to get out there and help. You prove communities aren't maintained by government alone. They're maintained by citizens who care. And before we close this thing out, what's one place in Rabun County you believe deserves more community stewardship? Could it be a trail, a creek, a cemetery, a shooting range, a historic site, a roadside marker? What would you like to help preserve? Ask yourself that. Reach out to somebody. There's always, I see church groups. You got Stokoa Creek Park down here. All kinds of things going on. Pay attention to the Facebook posts And if you've got something you'd like to broadcast, I'll help you do it. I'll help you do it. If you see this, I'll be on here every Thursday night at 6 o'clock. I fire up. I'd like to have you here, and we can reach out and talk about things that need to be done to help a neighbor, to help the community. We can do anything along those lines. But anyway, I've about talked out. It is 6:56. Let's close with this thought. This week reminded me of something. Communities aren't built because people live near each other. They're built because people decide to care about something together. A repaired road, a cleaner shooting range, a shared garden harvest, a helping hand. That's how communities become families. And that's why we gather here every Thursday evening, because we're a community of like-minded people with common interest in hunting, fishing, protecting our community, culture, families, and environment. We come here and we exchange ideas, resources, and information. And I'd like to thank you for spending another evening here at the Rabun County Rag. This is Bubba, and signing off from the northeast Georgia mountains, where July has arrived and the tomatoes are almost ready. The community showed what stewardship looks like, and the mountains are still teaching anyone willing to listen. Until next week, take care of one another and leave every place just a little bit better than you found it. And until we see each other again, as always, have a grateful day, and we'll see you next time.
The gift to be loved and that love to return. 'Tis the gift to be taught and a richer gift to learn. And when we expect of others what we try to live each day, then we'll all live together and we'll all learn to say, 'tis the gift to have friends and a true friend to be. 'Tis the gift to think of others, not to only think of me. And when we hear what others really think and really feel, then we'll all live together with a love that is real. 'Tis the gift to be loving, 'tis the best gift of all. liberty is found.